How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Perception Podcast. I'm Efrain,
And I'm Dean.
and we got some stuff that we want to talk about today. We're gonna get right into it. Dean, how have you been?
Well, there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
I think we got a few topics we want to cover today, including
We'll see if we get to them.
some comedic acts that we've seen,
Yeah.
animals, what they mean to you in life, and I know you've got some other things you want to talk about too.
Absolutely.
But
I'm really hoping that this actually makes it to air.
it will. It will.
Because
This will be our first one that
I was doing the edit on the first one that we've ever did.
Right.
And man, like it was funny and all, but the amount of times where I was just a little too drunk, I think, or we both were, and it was our first time because I was trying to cut you off, you were trying to cut me off. It was a lot of like back and forth, like
Right.
us trying to speak, and like we could never get anything done, and then we would put like the dumbest things for the story in, like what? Like, oh yeah, I recorded something. What is that? That's not even part of the. Who cares if you recorded anything, dumbass? Yeah. So listening to myself throughout that was pretty. And I mean, even some things you said, it was just like, wow, what are we even talking about?
Right.
So I mean, like it was a first time thing. It's like a fourth, fifth time now, and this may or may not be the first one that makes it, but we're.
I'm hopeful that it does.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So. I want to get right into something real quick. So tomorrow is week 2 of football, Sunday. I mean, Thursday technically already happened. We're doing this on a Saturday. But I want to get into what you thought about week 1. What did you think about week 1 football?
I think week one.
What are your shockers?
I think it confirmed a lot of things that I already thought were going to happen.
You're talking about your Giants?
First being Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be pretty versatile this season with the fact that, the Ravens were getting blown out in that playoff game against the Chargers, and he actually led them back to a rally after playing like crap for 3 quarters.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
he threw 5 touchdowns against a really bad Dolphins team, and I'm intrigued to see what he does week 2 against the Cardinals. But and then another thing
Not
that
as bad as a team, but
right. But
not
another
great.
thing that was confirmed for me week 1 was the Giants are still the New York Giants. I mean, they did not look good. They had a good first drive. Saquon Barkley looked good, but we didn't get it to him nearly enough, and the defense was awful. I mean, 5 touchdowns on 5 straight possessions is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people looked lost. I mean, DeAndre Baker, the guy we drafted out of Georgia, first-round pick, was non-existent. Michael Gallup torched him. And Michael Gallup, he's a good receiver, but he's not a guy that should be torching somebody that you consider one of your top cornerbacks.
Yeah,
right.
Especially consistently.
So those were some of the things that stood out to me week 1, and obviously I'm a Giants fan, so that's some of the things that really stood out to me. And then final thing I'll say is Patriots look as dominant as ever, and now they got Antonio Brown, so we'll
see how long that's going to take.
It's going to be really difficult to knock them off, I think, in the AFC.
That whole trade, the whole situation that's going on around that, like I don't really have any say about that. It is what it is, what happens. But that whole trade and transaction, how it happened in general, is just mind-boggling.
Right.
It's really annoying to see this team just get such dominant forces. I mean, I get it. He wants a ring, right? So why not go to the team that's most likely to win it again?
Right.
It is frustrating to see because you have such good teams right now in the NFL that can win it, and that haven't. I mean, you have the Saints, you have the Rams, you have the Cowboys, which I throw them in there because I'm a Cowboy fan, but they're a solid team this year.
Right.
They look really good. They're getting better on defense. But the Vikings, all these teams that are in contention, and now they just did a move like that, and it's like, and Gronk's looking at it like, yo, I might come back. Let me get another ring real quick. Hold on. I might not have to work as hard as I thought I did. And that's hey, I mean, Belichick knows what he's doing. They all know what they're doing over there, so you can't blame them for knowing what they're doing.
Right.
$15 million for him plus a signing bonus of $9 million, something like that. It's a good deal. That's fairly expensive. I mean, you don't see them dishing out money like that all the time, but if it's for another ring, why not?
Right. So what else stood out to you week 1?
Wow. There were a couple things that I saw. I didn't like how the Rams played personally. Week 1 they didn't look. They they just didn't look like the Rams. You know, that Gurley wasn't used. The passing game was fairly weak. The only thing that led them into it was they didn't play against a great team. You know, and
Right.
I think all in all, I think the week one didn't say. There's still a lot left on the table. We don't know we know where certain teams are going. We know, like, for instance, the Ravens are going to be a good team. We know the Vikings are going to be a good team. The Packers are going to be a good team. We don't know how good yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something I'm interested to see this coming week. So we got some matchups that are really going to, like, for instance, the Cowboys. Yeah, they played against the Giants, and that secondary was just god awful.
It was.
We're going to play against the Redskins, who have a better secondary. They're also division, like, again. So we'll see how we play against them, right?
Right.
You got the Vikings going against the Packers this
Mm-hmm.
week coming up, so that's a testament to both teams. How well can the Vikings defense hold up against the great Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm.
How well can Aaron Rodgers do with the team he has? I mean, he's got Devontae Adams and Scantling, and these aren't prominent names, but can he bring that team to a win over the Vikings, like a team like the Vikings? It's very possible, but it's also very not. I mean, Dalvin Cook looked really great in week one. Can he look that good week two? So there's a lot of things like that I'm really interested in seeing. David Johnson, see if he's going to end up doing anything. The Chiefs, man, that's a team. That's a dangerous team right there. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots did this, but Mahomes, second year, would he lose that matchup again?
I mean, he shouldn't have even lost it the first time.
Yeah.
The defense blew it for him by being offsides.
Antonio Brown really helps out the whole situation,
Right.
but if he continues to play like he played week one and how he played last year, and he just keeps this up, I don't see anybody beating that team, really. I mean, you
Right.
have to have the best defense in the league and a solid offense to beat that team.
Right.
And that means that the Vikings would need to get a little bit better and just play consistent and have a great game
Right.
and play them in the Super Bowl. And that's the only team, I think, that if it plays out like that, that would probably be
And I don't even think the Vikings compare. Really,
Yeah.
I think
I just think defensively they might have a shot, but
I think week 2 offers a lot of intriguing matchups, and I know a lot of us have been going back and forth about who's going to win that Packers-Vikings game.
yeah.
And to me,
It's a home game though.
it's
for Packers,
a no-brainer for me. I think the Packers are going to come away with the win.
I don't think it's going to be an easy win though.
This is,
gonna be a
I
good
guess
game.
what I want to see is the Packers defense as real as it looked week 1.
That's true.
They went against a mediocre Chicago offense, which is, I think mediocre might be an understatement because they did not look good.
They did not look good at all.
And-
That's another thing I'm interested to see if they're that bad.
Right.
If they continue what they did last week.
Right.
I don't
But
know.
I think the Packers defense is just markedly improved
Oh, for sure.
compared
Yeah.
to last season. I mean, they drafted a guy, Darnell Savage, out of Maryland. They picked up a couple of linemen and linebackers from the Ravens last season, Zadarius Smith. I mean, these guys are good.
Yeah.
And Preston Smith as well, I believe. So I'm just excited to see that game. I think it'll be televised here, right?
Yeah, it should all be televised.
So-
I mean that one should be televised. We'll see I think we'll see the Cowboys game. We'll see pretty much everything. I'll figure it out with
The
the
Cowboys
the
play at what
Sunday
time,
ticket
though?
too. I'll probably get that.
I don't think the Cowboys will be televised.
I mean, it's a division game.
They shouldn't be. The Giants will be.
Fine.
They're going to show the Giants. They're
What
not
time do they
showing the
play?
Cowboys. I don't know what the time.
I
I think Cowboys are 4:05 or something, right?
Maybe, yeah.
So
Who do you play?
the Bills at 1. So
Oh, it's at 1. So it'll be you and the Patriots, and the second game will probably be
the Jets.
the Cowboys.
Oh no, actually the Jets won't be televised because they're Monday night.
Yeah, so probably would be the Cowboys. They
Right.
like to play Cowboys games out here. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see how that goes. Plus, also it's the Redskins too. It's a divisional, so if there is a gap there, they will most likely slot that in there.
Right.
Especially out here, because Giants fans, they probably want to see that as divisional. And
Right.
that's what we have out here. So. Well, what else do I want to talk about with football? I mean, I'm excited this week too, man. We got a bunch of games to see tomorrow, and hopefully our picks are anywhere close. I hate seeing just complete upsets like we saw on Thursday. In my opinion, was Well, I mean, no one expected it. I mean, you saw every analyst everywhere. Everyone was picking.
What did I say?
You expected it, but that's just because you're stupid.
Obviously,
you're not, I guess. But
I told you several things that were going to happen.
I just can't believe Cam
I said
Newton...
McCaffrey wasn't going to get a touchdown. He didn't get a touchdown, and I said it was going to be a close game because it's a division matchup. And
but Panthers it wasn't a close game last year.
The Panthers just aren't good. That's the thing. The Panthers just aren't that good.
Yeah, I mean,
it was an awful game. It was an awful game.
It was so boring.
Right.
Cam Newton could not throw a ball to a receiver. He looked like Dak did on his worst day, and then some.
Right.
like.
And he can't move anymore either. I mean, Cam Newton's like turning into a cripple. You know, he's.
We got hit too many times. Man.
Panthers are never going to get back to the Super Bowl with him.
Yeah.
I'd put money on that. Put my life on that.
Especially with the way they run their offense right now.
Right.
He's not meant for what they're doing at all. And they don't really have great receivers. What, Funchess?
Mm-hmm. No, Funchess isn't on the team anymore. It's DJ Moore, and then they've got
Moore
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
And then they also have
hurt, or he's not on the
Hogan.
team at all?
No, he is on. Where did Funchess get traded to? He's Buffalo or something. Buffalo or like Jacksonville or something.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what team he's on.
I can see something like that. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, Panthers just aren't very good.
Yeah, I mean, who would you say would make it right now if you were to pick after week 1? Who's your Super Bowl after week 1?
It's impossible for me to go against the Patriots because of just everything. You know, their coaching is superior. They've got Tom Brady, and Tom Brady still looks elite despite how old he is.
I mean,
and then,
to be completely honest, he didn't really throw anything really impressive. He just played a great game. He just did the smart plays. But that's the thing, that's how you win games, right? You play smart.
But that's you can't say he didn't do anything overly impressive because to me is look at his stat line. I don't care if he's dumping it underneath. They're open, right?
Yeah.
Why go over the top when you guys are open?
But that shows system that doesn't necessarily show.
I disagree with that.
Show arm. And
I disagree with that.
But again, he's getting older. That's kind of what they would want to go more towards, anyways, right?
Right.
If he's getting older and can't throw the 60-yard bombs, don't get me wrong, he probably could. I'm not taking anything away from Brady. He's the best quarterback there is, but consistently throw those kind of bombs like he used to and stuff like that probably isn't good for him and for the team. Why do that if you don't have to?
Mm-hmm.
And when your guys are getting open on 5, 6, 7, 8 yards and are able to make it down the field because you have talent like Gordon and talent like Antonio Brown coming in, why wouldn't you do that? That's the smartest thing to do.
Here's the thing, Efrain, is what quarterback in football consistently throws the ball 20 yards down the field every play? Nobody does that. Everybody checks it down now and again.
If you saw Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he threw 3 passes, 45 yards or more in that game, and worked for completions.
I don't even know if that was. I know
he had a 45, and then he had a 50
for one,
I think.
but.
And then you have Wentz, who threw 2 also. He had the 50-yard touchdown and another 45-yard bomb.
Right.
So, I mean, you have big plays coming from people. But
it's not like it's
he doesn't
10,
need to.
15 times a game. Every quarterback checks it down every now and again.
I mean, of course, again, but it's all about how you run it. And if they're doing it right, why not keep doing something that works?
Right.
So, I mean, I get it. It makes sense. It's just they're a boring team to watch, in my opinion. They've always been a boring team to watch. They just play football, and it's like, all right, cool. I don't care for him.
Mm-hmm.
I like high octane. I like a good game. I like fun. I like watching Aaron Rodgers because he's good. He's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. They're just consistent, but yeah, that's football, man. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I hope my Cowboys do some work. Hope we go 2-0, make it all the way, 16-0. Not gonna happen.
Not happening. Not happening.
But anyone can dream. Anyone can dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, we got some nice. We got Jack and Coke. We got some
Yeah,
Jack Daniels.
Gentleman's is the way to go.
Phenomenal.
Nothing better.
Nothing.
I think that's probably our top whiskey.
For sure.
And we've drank a lot of whiskey in our day.
It's funny, you can always go back to it. I think the thing about whiskey too is that like taking a break from it, like there are people who drink it all the time, but if you drink something every day, consistently, you kind of get tired of it. It's not the same. It hits you differently. It tastes differently. You just kind of get bored of it. So we consistently change. I feel like, especially recently, we'll go Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark,
right?
Just all different things, even cheaper whiskeys like Heaven Hill and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually we come back to things and go, wow, Oh, that's great, right? Like we didn't drink Maker's Mark for like about 3 months almost. We came back to it recently. We're like, I missed this one, and then we go
Right.
back to Gentleman's. Like, oh, that's the one. Like
Right.
that's yeah, nothing beats it, man. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a great mixing it. A shot on the rocks. All of them are great right now. I'm mixing because it makes the most sense. I don't feel like taking some hard swigs right now.
Right.
So yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's talk about though you wanted to talk about your pets, right?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's been on my mind pretty heavy lately. So my dog is 12 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Just turned 12 in August.
Cool.
And she's been having difficulties with her back legs. And we took her to the vet this morning and ultimately thought we were going to be putting her down. And vet said, let's inject her with a steroid, see what happens. And he said to contact him at on Tuesday, just to update him on what's going on, and it's just crazy because you go through these whirlwind of emotions. You think that you're gonna be putting your dog down when you go to the vet that day, and then all of a sudden, like, your hope is raised, like, oh, she might be better from this. But I told my parents too the same thing. It's like I don't want to get my hopes up that this is gonna make her better, because it might not ultimately.
How old is she?
She's 12. She just
12,
turned 12 in August, and it's just tough. And when you're going through this, you think about all the memories with your pet, and all the good times and bad, like all the stupid stuff that she did. And she was a good dog, and she's still fighting, like she's still eating every day and begging for food and barking orders and all that. So she's still got her personality. And the vet today too, Dr. Piper, he's like one of the best in Connecticut. And
knowing your parents, they definitely would be going for the best for their dog. I love that dog.
We put her on the table and everything, and he's like, oh yeah, Maxine, she's old, but she's still a bitch. and I thought that was funny because like he was able to recognize that, like, she's still there, like mentally, like she's still got it. Is she struggling a little bit? It's the physical aspect, and she's got a little bit of a skin condition too, so she's on antibiotics with that now, and we'll see what happens, but ultimately, like, I always like think back to Marley and Me, because like that's the story of like a dog's life. It's like the overwhelming joy of when they're a puppy, growing through the good times and bad, and then like towards the end of their life, it's like, wow, like that went by so fast, and you don't even realize, like you don't even realize
it's just like
it's like that, and it makes you like reflective, and it's like you gotta be grateful for the little things in life, because animals are so precious and pure and
innocent. I mean, they're one of the few things I feel like that, especially a pet of all kinds, they always keep their innocence all the way through life.
Right.
They don't know what's outside. All they know is you coming home.
Right.
You ever watch those? There's a couple movies that actually came out that I kind of wanted to see, but dog movies, man, they get everybody.
Oh man.
So there's like, what is it? A Dog's Way Home.
A Dog's Purpose.
A Dog's Purpose. There's been a couple too. There's like another one. I think A Dog's Way Home, A Dog's Life, or something like that.
Right.
Like all these movies have come out like recently within the last year or so, and I can only imagine that's a tough thing.
A Dog's Purpose was the most ridiculous movie because it was literally, like I described earlier, it's a whirlwind of emotions. So it takes you through the story of several dogs, okay?
Oh, sure. Okay.
So you got a police dog saves its partner, gets stabbed to death.
Yeah.
So you're crying, and then all of a sudden it's a puppy being born. So you're like, oh yeah, like I'm happy again. And then that dog dies, and then you're getting brought back to another dog, and it's like, oh man, like it's crazy.
It is. It really is. I mean, you think about it too. It's like how secluded these dogs' lives are. Again, it's all you know. And then you watch. Man, there were some shows I used to watch even years ago, and it was like this guy, he was blind. His dog was like his walker, and a car was taking a turn, and the dog jumped in front of the car and like almost died. Like if it wasn't for the person, there was, I don't know, they got it help just in time and everything. Like he ended up making a full recovery and saved the dude's life. Like
Right.
it's just like they will do anything for you, and it's just it's a really cool like companionship, and it shows you what, you know, it almost kind of shows you what like real friendship and real like real love is like, even for people. You know, you take these experiences with your pets and animals, and you can put it into real life, and like the care and worship that they have for you. Not saying worship in general, but I'm just saying like the appreciation and everything for everything that you do, no matter what, and understanding when they do wrong and do good, and the fact that they will literally put their lives on the line for you just kind of like puts into perspective like what a real friend, or what like, you know, a father or mother would do for their kid, you know, things like that. And it's, you know, it teaches it teaches kids that value too, which is why I think it's always a good thing to have a dog or animal around a baby or younger. I mean, you had your dog, it was 12 years, you were 11.
Right.
My dog passed away like 3 years ago now, and I think we got her around the same time too.
Yeah.
She had her complications, but I mean, you learn a lot. you learn so much, and you miss them every day. I mean, I miss her. It's like just her energy, all the way to the end of her life, was just like she was never gonna die, and then she obviously had her complications with cancer and stuff like that. But it's really cool to see, and really humbling, and like it teaches you a lot. It definitely teaches you a lot. So that's, yeah. I mean, it's tough, but it's part of it, and it only gets harder.
It does
after that, you know.
Well, and that's the thing right now too, is I'm at a state where, you know, we were able to bring her back today, but again,
you don't want to get too hopeful.
It's gonna probably hurt more when she has to go. You know, but we'll know. You know, we'll know when it's the right time, and I'm just hoping that the medication gives her, who knows, maybe a year or two at least. You know, that would be awesome.
It would be.
Just to see her being able to use those back legs again and getting mobile. So.
Yeah, I mean, when my dog's time finally came, it was tough. I mean, my sister, me, I mean, we were all trying to chip in for like different surgeries and stuff. She had one. You know, it was one of those surgeries where like it could help her. She could live another 3 years, or
right.
she could not, and she didn't end up living that much longer. I think she had other complications that ended up, you know, ultimately being that. So it's like, you know, you can't really put a price on it. It's like if it's your, for my sister especially, like it was like her, like best friend almost.
Right.
Always around her, to bed, like it was to the point where, in my dog's eyes, my sister was like her kid, because she would bathe her every night. She would lick my sister, all, you know, bathing her basically every night. And so it was a funny like little relationship they had, because it's like obviously my sister's taking care of her, but in my dog's mind, it's like that's her kid. You know, that she takes care of you.
Right.
And yeah, so that's how that was, and it sucks. You know, it just, you don't really ever expect it, or don't really think about it ever.
Right.
And literally, you know, 13, 14, 15, 20 years passes, and the time comes, and they just get old fast in comparison to like any other thing. You know, we age in 20 years, and it's like, you know, even us, you look at us like 20 years ago, we're babies. In 20 years times that your cat lived or whatever,
right.
we're adults, you know, we're driving, we're working, we're, you know, some people are in the military, some people are cops now, some people are putting their lives on the line for other people, you know. It's like, it's crazy to just the difference of 20 years. But sometimes, I mean, that's all they got. For us, it's, you know, another 20 years, and then you'll get a dog in the future when you have kids and stuff, and
right.
and that will be their dog, and that's all they'll know, and you'll remember your dog in that same. It's just, I mean, I think it's a good thing for families and especially kids and just in general, because it gives you that lesson of love, you know, and loss
and appreciation for life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
But yeah, it's time just goes by so quick when you think about it. Like I was sitting I got my haircut today at Father and Sons in Milford, and I saw somebody from high school, and we just got to talking about, like, we graduated high school, and then all of a sudden college is done, and like that. Like
Four
college
years.
was done so quick. So quick.
It's crazy.
And now I'm back home again, and it's just crazy where time goes. You know, you gotta try and appreciate the little moments in life. You know.
Yeah, you learn a lot over a couple of years, and it's like, yeah, just a handful of years ago, you were in high school, wishing it would end. And
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, you're in college. You're like, cool, sweet. And now it's over. You're like, damn, I would do that again.
Yeah.
Like I would start it all. I hated school. Like, it was annoying and shit, but I would do it again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me
Start it
too.
from the beginning. Just do
Yeah.
it again one more time. One more time through. It would be fun. It was a lot of fun, man. It was. Man, it's a time in your life where you just have no worries, you have no cares, you don't realize like what's going on around. Like, you're just innocent, right? So the struggles and hardships, you can sense it from your parents, but you don't understand it yet.
Right.
And they, they hide you and protect you from things like that. So, you didn't have to worry about it. All you had to worry about was going to school and having a good time, and then being able to hang out. Now it's like, all right, well, your bills due. Figure it out.
Right.
You got money? No?
That
Figure
sucks.
it out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You owe us, and then some. Like, oh, you don't have any money? That's another $20. It's like, dude, I don't have any money. It's like, oh, that's another $20. Like, you just said it was another $20. Yeah, but I don't like your tone.
You know, you're still talking to us.
You're
$20.
Why are you still talking to? Yeah, we're gonna charge you every 30 seconds. You're on this call. It's like, dude, I don't have money to charge. $20.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be $180 now. That's how it goes. Just like that. Oh, man, I wanted to share a story real quick. Since we're on the topic, for one, of childhood and everything, growing up in time. I have this story of me and my brother. We lived in a room together, so we had this little ass, like, man, it was just we fit a bunk bed in there, and there was like a little TV stand and stuff. You feel like you've probably been in there before.
Yeah.
But we've had like multiple different bunk beds and stuff like that. But this one at the time it had like a dresser and like it was cool, a little area to read books and do homework and stuff. But it was a tight little area. We had the bed on the ground. I was on the top, I believe, at the time. And my brother was on the ground. It was like a connected bed that like went into that, and we'd always like do wrestling. We were way into WWE and all that stuff at the time, so we would do like fake wrestling. Sometimes get hurt, and our parents would get pissed. One day we're just like hitting each other with pillows were our chairs. So like, oh, a chair! Well, the ref didn't see it. Making up shit like if a ref was even there.
Right.
And it would be funny too, because you would go and like be fighting each other and be like, hold on, be the ref real quick. All right. And then my brother would go be the ref, and I would like choke him down, and then he'd be like, okay, go back to be the other person. It's like, now the ref's gone, so now you can actually pull out weapons and shit.
Yeah.
That was always so fun. And so that's what I mean. He like jumped up to I forgot what it was, but I remember he jumped up at me, probably to do like a slam or something. I hit him in the air with a pillow, and it hit him hard enough where he flew into the wall. And when he did that, he hit his head, but there was a staple in the wall, so he hit his head on a staple, and it split his head open in the back. He goes immediately. We stopped. I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, I think so. I don't know. And he goes over to my parents' room, and he's like, he goes in there. He's like, I just hit my head. Can you check it for me? And he's bleeding, and they're like, let's go. We gotta get to the hospital, and everything, because it was a big cut. Got I think he needed like 6, 7, 8 stitches, whatever. And it's like, what were you guys doing, dude? For the long, like, he fell. It wasn't anything crazy. He fell. He hit his head, and my brother went with it too. We were all just like, yeah, he fell, whatever. Man, that was a long night. We were there till like, I think we got home like 4 or 5 a.m. Man, my parents had to be zonked. My dad had to work in the morning, and until recently, like maybe a couple years ago, we talked about it. Me and my brother, my mom, and everything, and it was pretty funny, because it was like, oh yeah, this is how it happened. It's like, I knew it was something else. I knew it was something different. Like, we stuck by that the whole time, man. And it got to the point where they knew something, that we were obviously lying or whatever, but.
Right.
It wasn't. Everyone was okay. Everyone was safe. It wasn't even worth the headache.
Right.
It was one of those ones where it's like, whatever, man. Like, just Oh, let him be. and it's funny you talk about it now, and it's like, yeah, that's what happened. I hit him with the pillow. He hit the wall, split his head on a staple. And that's not even the only one, man. We used to do these fights all the time, and this one, and he was small. I mean, he's 4 years younger, so, and I was always a big kid. I mean, I was 6 foot in like middle school, so there was a time, I think it had to be like 4th or 5th grade, where, so what's that, like 10 or 11? We would play fight or whatever, and he catches me with a right hand in the eye, but he catches me perfect. His hands are small enough. He catches me perfectly. My eye swelled up, black and blue and everything. It didn't hurt. I was just like, oh, my eye feels weird. He's like, oh no! Like, it immediately started puffing and everything, and it got black and blue. I mean, it was funny. Like, parents were laughing, and it didn't hurt. Like, it wasn't one of those ones like, you got me. It was like, it stung, but it wasn't like he just got me good right there.
Right.
And man, I remember being sent to the damn nurse's office. Like, how did this happen? You need to put some cold, compressed on it. How did it happen? I was like, oh, my brother hit me. Like, he got me good. He's like, your brother, like Manny in like preschool? Like, yeah, he hit me. He's like, are you sure that's who hit you? I was like, yeah, that's who hit me. Like, what do you get? Like, I didn't understand it at first. Now I think about it. They were thinking it was one of my parents or something. Yeah, my parents hit me or something. Like, no, dude, that was my brother. I got my ass whooped by my preschooler brother. Yes, yes, my 6-year-old brother got me pretty good with a right hand. We were play fighting like we always do. And that's what happened. It's funny, man. It's hilarious how the school was just trying to get any information. I was like, dude, nothing happened. I was just my brother. It was my brother. He hit me. He's like,
right.
Okay, if that's what you say. And I'm sure. I mean, I don't think my parents ever got talked to or anything about it.
Uh-huh.
But if they did, I mean, they were in the clear there. I never really got. I wasn't. Parents were never abusive.
Right.
I think I hit once, like by a belt, like one time years ago, which was over something fucking stupid. I deserved it in so many other ways, but that one was just like, all right, I got framed. Okay. I don't even remember what it was for. It was something stupid. I think my cousin. I like hit her or something, but I didn't hit her. It wasn't me. I don't remember. But it was like one of those ones like, bro, so many different opportunities here, and this is what it. Whatever, fine.
It was because you shit in the washing machine. You gotta tell that story.
I don't think I ever got caught for that. Well, I mean, we kind of did.
Or was it the dryer?
It was one of them.
It had to be the dryer because
me and my cousin, we would
slide.
We would always back in the day we were like. You couldn't. We were like always together. You could not separate us, and we'd always do stupid shit together like all the time, and we thought it was funny. We were sitting in like the little laundromat, and it was like, I think it'd be funny if I take a shit in this thing. Like, I mean, how old are you? Maybe 4, 5. It's like, oh, yeah, do it. Okay. I don't remember who took it. It was either me or her, but
him
now, but at the time, it was her, and fuck yeah. I mean, what's in the dryer? Like, I don't know. Someone shit in the dryer. Oh man. I mean, it had to be one of us. We denied it all the way through. I didn't know a damn thing.
It was you.
I didn't know what that.
No, it was you. Absolutely. Come on.
I don't remember. We might have both.
You can shit on command.
We might have both. Nah, I don't know. We might have both. I cannot 100% remember. But yeah, that's man, I probably have more stories that I could think about, but it's man, this one time my cat, not even my cat, it was my uncle's cat, and it was named Kitty. It was a stray, right? And the cat was just a vicious animal. I mean, you should never take in a stray. I'm sorry, you just don't. Like a stray, like off the street. Like this cat was blind in one eye, came in with scars.
Well, probably rabies.
It was fine. We ended up taking it and getting it checked. Well, not me.
When
he ended up
Bridgeport
taking
or
it.
what?
Probably. I
Yeah.
don't remember. Yeah.
Well,
I've lived in Bridgeport. This is years ago, man. This is back in the hood.
It wasn't. It wasn't in Casco because I don't ever.
Oh
remember
no. The cat was never with me. It was always with my uncle. At one point, we lived with them and stuff.
Sure.
All in the same apartment
right.
and shit back in there. And man, I went up there one day and we were playing like on the PlayStation 2 or 1 or whatever. I don't even remember. I think we were playing like Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance because I always loved that game. But it could have even been before that because I don't think that game was out then. So there was some game I was trying to play, probably SOCOM. But I was watching him play, and the fucking cat just went berserk. And then I was like, "What's going on with the cat?" And it stood up, and he like gets
on its
this
hind legs,
on its like
really?
that, and started running at us. So he kicks it, bro. He kicks this cat across the room. The cat hits the wall, falls down, and you're like, "All right, we're safe." Comes back up, starts charging just on its legs like a human, dude. Just running at you, man. This is out of a horror movie. he forts me up inside, like, you know, you could take couch cushions. You can't take these couch cushions.
Yeah.
Literally forted me up. I was like, hold the top one. I held the top one closed on all four of them. And you just hear the cat, because it keeps fucking kicking it, trying to get it. This cat was going berserk. It was like it was in Vietnam or something. It's having a flashback.
Did they put it down? What happened?
No, he kept it forever. I mean, is
it still alive?
No, it died a couple years ago, actually. Not even that long ago. It was like 4 or 5 years. I think he lived like 25 years or something. That stupid cat, bro. and he split my grandmother's head open. He's like just randomly. She was watching like soap operas, like All My Children or something like that, and she was just chilling with her coffee. Just cut her head open, like, dude. I remember walking into that bathroom. There was just red in the sink, and I was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" He's like, "Okay, calm down." I was like going, because I'm a kid. I see blood happening. Oh my god, I'm going crazy. I'm like, "You're gonna die." And she's like, "Nah, I'm fine. I'll be okay." It's like, dude, that was that cat. That cat, man. Terror. I've never been. That's why I hated cats my whole life until like recently. And I found out all cats are.
Figgy.
Nah, even before that, Brandon's cats. They were all nice.
Crinkle cut.
Yeah, Crinkle and Creamy. Yeah, Miss Creamsicle. But they were nice cats. So I was always okay with them, and they loved me and would always touch me in ways I didn't appreciate, but. Cats are cats, man.
Smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they feeding you?
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's from Friends. Oh, it's like Phoebe's trademark
song. Yeah. She tries to sing it in the shop, right?
Literally every time.
All the time. Yeah.
I like how they continuously like made her sing that song every season, like.
Is there something that stuck and everyone
liked
it?
Yeah, it was just funny, yeah.
I mean, hey, when you're making $1 million an episode, I'd be doing it too.
Right.
Whatever's working. Oh man, that's good. That's good shit.
All right, so I'm gonna take you on a funny story myself here. So, was in Wisconsin with my uncle, and I was pretty big into golf at this time, and we decided we were gonna go golf at the course pretty close to my grandpa's house. So me and him went, and we were both a little thirsty, so we got a Pepsi from the shop. We're about 4 or 5 holes in, and my uncle tells me, he's like, usually Pepsi's not good for my stomach, but fuck it, I'm gonna drink it anyways. All right, so
problem number one.
he starts drinking it. I'm like, all right, like I'm fine. Like I feel good. Like I have no issue with Pepsi, no issue with like drinks like that. 7th, 8th hole, he's like, oh man, stomach is not good right now. Like, really? Like that quick? Like, okay, like we're almost done. Like, get to the 9th hole, hit our tee shots, start walking up to the 9th hole, and I could tell there's something seriously wrong with him. Like, he's going to shit his pants, okay?
How does Pepsi do this?
Just listen, my uncle on the green, all of a sudden I just see shit slide down his leg all over the green. He's like, grab your clubs, we're going now. Like, we couldn't even finish out. So he grabbed a towel from the back. He's like, you're not telling anybody about this ever.
And here we are.
You will not speak about this ever. Oh man, it was disgusting. It was all over the green, all over his legs, all down his pants. Ugh.
Oh, dude.
And you never expect something like that to happen. It was such a random thing, but it's such a funny story to look back on.
Oh god.
So anytime he tries to give me crap about anything, I'm like, Brian, you remember when you pooped your pants?
You remember when you had too much Pepsi, everybody? How does something like Pepsi do that to someone? What is it?
I don't know if it was like the sugary kind of nature of the drink. I don't know.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that was wild. It was like, that's just a story I'll remember for the rest of my life.
That's wild, dude. That's gross, but hilarious.
Absolutely.
At the same time, man. Wow, that is. Oh yeah, I would. I mean, man, being in that predicament, I haven't shit myself anytime.
No, I don't think I have either.
Will it happen? Sure, I'm sure it happens. I've heard stories of like people like just being put into situations where like they can't use the bathroom and they end up shitting themselves, or like a shark's a little different, but actual full on like, God, your stomach's not right and you can't get to a bathroom in time. Oh, that would suck. That would really suck.
I've been very close a couple of times to like the point where I'm prairie dogging.
I'm prairie dogging,
and my butt cheeks start getting real sweaty, and then when you finally sit on the toilet, it's just like an instant relief, and it just falls out like, whew.
And then all the water hits you, and you're like, oh, I'm taking a shower after this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm definitely taking a shower. That's a rough one. Oh man, yeah, that's good. You know what I want to talk about too at one point. I guess we'll talk about it right now.
Sure.
So we were talking about this before, and conspiracies.
Oh man.
Oh,
conspiracies, man.
My thing about conspiracies too is that they're always interesting. They're really interesting. There's a ton of conspiracies. Don't do that because you're hitting the mic. You
Whoops.
dick. Yeah, it's fine. And then you also are hitting the laptop.
I knocked the laptop. It's fine.
But so me and conspiracies, it's like such a weird thing because like, 9/11 just passed, and that's a day in history that will never be forgotten. It was a horrible tragedy.
The worst day in American history.
Easily, yeah. And it also brings a lot of conspiracies to the table about things like jet fuel can't melt steel beams and just things like that. And just it's a never ending. How do you have one camera and this and that? And it's like, well, you got to also remember, like, at the time there wasn't many of them. It wasn't like it is today where there's one every corner, like in my house,
right?
Where there's like 6 around.
But that's my biggest issue with 9/11 now is. So I understand planes flew into the Twin Towers. We saw it. We saw what happened there. But with the Pentagon, it's like you have one camera on what we would consider the most. That's America's defense system right there. That doesn't make sense to me. And it's a frame that you can't even tell what's hitting into it.
Well, and you also got to think about it too, though. It's like if they did have cameras in the front right there that could have seen it, they were damaged, destroyed, or whatever in the crash.
Well, damaged, but again, it's like, you still have footage from it, though. The memory should still save, no?
But in the day, though, did they have that? Did we have that technology where we're saving it on a main hard drive, or was it all from that camera where you had to go in and get it, and it was just destroyed?
And then we also talked about WTC 7. The building next to the Twin Towers that just collapsed.
That one's been fairly debunked, though, because of the reports around actually on the front and the back. And the way it was made was really poorly made, where, like, if one pillar ever went out in general, the entire building would basically collapse, or at least a section.
It goes to make you, like, it makes you think about, like, why were these buildings so structurally poor? Like, even the Twin Towers were horribly designed. And I'm pretty sure they said that there was thermite in the... wasn't there thermite or something in the...
something like that, yeah.
Which caused the beams to melt at a quicker rate or something. I don't even know, but...
I think that was like a rumor of it or something like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why it fell is because it's not that it melts steel beams, but it gets it hot enough where it's malleable to the point where it fell.
Right.
Enough pressure on top, one way, direction, if people are all at the windows here, whatever it is, it was enough where... These beams were hot. They got real hot enough to bend. I mean, you look at like glass. You get glass hot enough, you can mold glass into shapes. You look at anything, you can bend it at certain degrees. You're not gonna snap it now.
Right.
You look at metal barbed wire and stuff like that, where they bend it, put it in a U, so you could do horseshoes and stuff like that. It gets to that point where you could bend it. It ain't snapping it though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it got at, and it just that's that. I mean, that conspiracy is like, but it just there's so many different things. You got the Area 51, the whole thing going on over there, where people are gonna go out there. Supposedly there are gonna be a lot of people going out there. I don't know when that's soon, and it's funny because I think it's turning into more of like a festival. Because if anybody actually tries to raid, you're getting arrested, so you probably shouldn't do that.
Maybe shot.
Yeah, depending on how many, they could just start just shred across.
Right.
But I don't think that's gonna happen anyway. It's just gonna be sounds like a big festival. They're bringing food trucks and stuff like that. I've heard and music and everything like that. I don't know if there's any live performances going on, but man, if you want a promotion, that's probably the place to head out to do some live performances while everyone's there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably gonna end up being like a fire festival where everyone went there and nothing happened. So it's just gonna be a bunch of people in an area doing nothing.
And then I want to also get back to 9/11 again with Flight 93. Did you know they had phones on these planes and stuff back then? Like in the back of the seats.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like old like.
Where they could call somebody from the back of the seat.
Oh wow.
Like at least in the movie Flight. I don't think they would make that up, right?
Yeah. Oh.
But these people knew that like there were terrorist attacks happening, and that's why they ended up going through and trying to take down the plane, which is interesting. And what the terrorists did was smart because they brought fake bombs on. Oh, we got bombs. That kept the passengers at bay because they didn't want their plane to blow up.
Logically thinking about it now, it's like, okay, well, if their real mission is to do this, then they're not gonna blow a plane up,
right?
Yeah, and if they do, at least they didn't do that,
right?
I guess, right.
Right. So, yeah, I just think the whole thing is, it's just sad, It's sad that it happened the way it did, and it's sad that, I don't know. I guess when a plane gets hijacked like that, are you really going to listen to somebody when they say, oh, our demands have been met, we're going to land at the next airport or whatever? Like, I wouldn't believe that if somebody hijacked my plane. Is that hindsight bias, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it very well can be because, like, has anything like that ever happened beforehand? They see something like that. Is there anything comparable? Now we see what happened, and we're like, okay, bullshit, that ain't gonna happen. But like,
well, right now, but nowadays nobody will ever hijack a plane ever again. It will never happen.
I mean, it probably would happen, but
it will never happen. Like
someone will try.
People have
will they
tried.
Be successful?
People have tried on international flights. Like there was a guy flying back from I think London to Chicago.
Yeah.
And he had some sort of explosive in his pants, and people saw him like try lighting it up, and they like several people were just on him, beating the crap out of him so quick. Like Americans, if you try to fly to America, in America, anywhere near America with a plane, and you're trying to pull any funny shit, people are going to react in a very hostile way.
And I don't even care who you are. Anytime I've ever been around a plane, I'm skeptical
right.
of everyone.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. If you're doing something weird, if you're shaking, if you're fidgety, I'm looking at you the whole plane ride. I don't care. I'll be like this in the window, just. What do you do? Oh, you were just fixing your toupee for 2 hours. Okay, my bad. My bad, old man. My bad, 80-year-old man. Whatever. I had to make sure. You were messing with your head the whole time. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not. Look, if you die, you die in a plane, right?
Right.
That's kind of how I fly. If we crash, we crash. So you can't really worry about it. Like, what are you gonna do? You're up in the air, 700 feet or however many feet, 7,000 feet. I don't know why I said 700. That'd be like above our house. 7,000 or 15,000. I don't even know what it is.
Cruising altitude's 30.
So. Oh, it's 30?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so 700 miles per hour. And then a little less is like average, right? 700 is like around max. But, yeah. Whatever. I'm 30,000 feet in the air. This shit goes down and shit goes down.
At that point, like,
whatever, man.
I would have had the same mentality as those passengers on 93. Like, we're going down regardless. These guys are.
You can't take my.
I mean, it would have been really cool if like somebody had some sort of flying experience and they were able to regain control of the plane after the hijackers had taken it, but they like killed all the hijackers and they're like, all right, where can we land this? Can you help us?
Yeah.
And they like somehow miraculously land it safely. That would have been super cool. But it's it's still very admirable that they were able to stop it before it hit whatever, the Capitol building or the White House. That was the alleged target. Yeah. So also I saw something today relating to 9/11, Osama bin Laden has 38 children. 38.
Jesus.
And one of his kids was like a ringleader for Al Qaeda. We just killed him like last month, but it was confirmed today or yesterday. And in the article, it was like, he was the 15th of Osama's 38 kids. I was like, what?
Wow.
Like, wow, this man just went to town.
I mean, it's also that religion, right? Can't they just whoever they want
Right.
kind of thing?
Right.
It doesn't even matter. It's probably not even the same wife.
Right.
Or he had many.
Oh, many.
I don't know if that is like a thing in there.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. And, so I'm sure, I mean, if he was that high ranked, whatever.
Right.
Well, you're pregnant? All right, next. Like, give me all the sons. The more people to bomb themselves. But, yeah, you go into conspiracy and it's really interesting. And there's always a conspiracy about everything, man. There's pictures, they'll say, oh, that's a time traveler in there, and it's like, look what he's wearing. And there's been some pretty convincing things, but a lot of those, with the way media and everything is and technology, I can go on this computer right here and Photoshop something, and people who are really good at it can make it look really real. It's like, I never met Shaq, but I'm in a picture with him.
Right.
There's and sometimes they make it really good where it's like, wow, that looks almost perfect. And so those are those kind of things where I'm like, sure, maybe, whatever, I don't care, it doesn't affect me in any way. I think one of the coolest things though is the Mandela effect, where like everyone thinks something is one way and it's never really that way, like the Berenstein Bears or whatever. I don't even know about that. I wasn't old enough. Or at least I never got those books when I was younger. I don't know if you did, but
Bernstein Bears, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Everyone thinks it's Bernstein, but it's Berenstein.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I never thought it was Berenstein.
Yeah, something like that.
When you said it, I was like, yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah, I think that's like I think that's what it is. Either that or it's the other way. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's one of them, and it's like the Mandela effect. I don't remember which one, or it's the way it's spelled, and so everyone has like an idea that it's this way, but it's supposedly always been this way, and that's like where they think like, oh, maybe there was like a gap or a loop or something where they messed up, but it's a really interesting thing to go down that road. You can never really get out of it though. It's like going in the recommended on YouTube, where all of a sudden first you were watching like sports videos, and next thing you know you're watching people pop pimples, and then the next thing you know you're watching people die, and then the next thing you know you're watching like it's just this whole. It's like, how did I get here? Well, what were the levels that I got to this area? Like all of a sudden I'm learning about the dark web. Like there was this story that was on there. I don't remember who it's by or what, but it was this dude who was like, he created a story, I believe, and it was like of a dude who was like completely bored of life. Like he just didn't have anything better to do, so he hired through the dark web, hired the best hitman he could find, the most expensive and best hitman he could find to kill him, himself.
I think you told me this.
Yeah, and like it was this whole thing where it's like he left a note in there. He got weapons and everything, took out as much money as he could and all that stuff. And he left a note. It was like, it's like your move, So it was like this whole thing going back and forth, and I guess eventually he actually ends up killing the hitman.
Yeah.
But it doesn't end there, because he starts getting messages and phone calls from these people. So whoever that hitman worked for, that was their best hitman. So they're gonna come after you. You're done. Like everyone's coming after you. Doesn't matter how they're gonna get you. So I think at the end of it, he kind of realized, it's like, all right, I gotta I won this. So it was like a gratifying thing. But in the end, he ends up dying because he has to turn himself in. But so how it worked though, it was like a blog where he kept sharing it every couple days. He's
right.
Like, all right, this is what's happening right now. Gotta go. See ya. And then that's like if he never responded to the other ones, that's how you would know. And like the last one was like, I probably won't respond. This is definitely, I'm meeting him in the woods today. This is definitely gonna be the last one, I believe. We'll see. And
is your laundry?
Yeah, I think so.
Yours?
Yeah, it's about to end.
You're doing your laundry right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think it's about to end.
Congrats.
Is that why it's beeping?
It's reminding me of Flight 93.
Yeah,
like
ding,
that. Boom,
but
boom.
Where even was I about this? Yeah, so that was the last one, and then that's how it ends because he never gets back to the blog because it's always a blog that he gets back to.
Right.
So it ends like that. So you're left to imagine that he really did die out there, or maybe there's speculation that maybe that guy was taken in and they wanted him to be work for them, but he could never talk to anybody else since he didn't have anyone anyways, or that's why he didn't care and would die. He was bored of everything. He had an office job and shit like that, so he had nothing to live for anyway. So maybe they took him under his wing. All right, you beat our best, now you're gonna be our best. That's how I could see that, like where they take you in. It's all right, you're ours now. You work for us. You're gonna go do our deeds if you want to live, or we'll just kill you right here.
Right.
So what would you take? I was like, yeah, I'll be your best. Fine. We'll see how that goes. It sounds like a lot of fun. It's a really interesting story. There's a lot more that was left out. You should definitely look it up at some point. I don't even remember what it's called, but I would try to find it. It was like Black Market Hitman on Self or something like that. Just look it up. God, it was just an interesting story someone made up, I think.
Can you drive right now?
Probably not. I don't know.
Probably not?
Yeah, probably not. Why would I?
Because I'm craving Wendy's.
Yeah, you're fucked.
I think you can.
Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna. As I take another sip.
Stop sipping.
Nope.
Alright, I'm going.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going.
Yeah. It's not happening. That's on you, man. You should have got it.
Uber Eats.
Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. I'll see you guys.
Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed the camera too.
Yeah.
I think we had a good view here. And
I mean, it was better than nothing. The lighting. We're gonna slowly build up. We'll see how it does. But this will probably be our first actual one that's gonna make it on there.
We say that every time.
No, but this one actually, because again, I got the new laptop and everything. I'll edit it here. It's a lot easier than that. I was trying to fix it today and it just wasn't working. But I digress. We'll see you guys. Thank you for watching. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you.